Hi everybody, the Mature Simmer here. So I'm finishing up delivering the last load of the wheat to my silo. And I've got my next set of work to begin. So you ever have those times in your life where you're moving along and you decided to do something, and then almost immediately after you start to think of all the reasons why maybe it wasn't such a great idea as you thought? I'm having a little bit of that right now for a couple of reasons. So first off, the harvest of course ended up taking longer than I expected. So I'm later in the day and I really need to step away from the game for a time. But I've kind of committed myself to these piles of straw on my field here. So that's part of it. The other part is there's crop over here, and my bale stores that I put in are at the north of 29 up there. And once again, I kind of realized halfway through dropping the straw in that field, I'm going to have a challenging time getting the bale wagon in there, because obviously I don't want to destroy crop in the process. So yeah, I've got a couple things where I'm like, what were you thinking? So that's where we're at. Whoops, wrong key. Can't even think of which keys to press anymore. So let me pull away here. But anyway, I'm committed at this point. I can get up here through the middle of the field. I can go around the other side by the road. So I basically put 2 bale stores up there. I might not even need that much. I can't imagine I'm going to have over 300 bales off one field. Frankly, I'm trying to remember where I put my baler. There it is over there. So this should work, I think. Yeah, the equipment's still connected here. So yeah, I've just got to kind of keep checking things since I've got some assistance from folks. You know, obviously everybody's got their way of doing things, so I can't assume that everything's disconnected, and I don't want to be that guy who's like, you have to do these 100 things to work on my farm, because it's hard enough to get people to work on the farm as it is, and I've already got some crazy requirements for tracking the finances, so I certainly don't want to make it worse. But yeah, so got our baler, and so at this point, because straw swaths do start to vanish just over time, and absolutely if we get rain in some way, and I think even just morning dew and so forth, they start to diminish as well. But once they're bales, they're in a little bit better shape. So I'm going to go ahead and bale these things and get that done at least. And that will at least put me in a position to step away and do the other things I need to do, but not lose what I've already done. And then I can once again kind of figure out what I've got myself into later on when I go pick this stuff up in the next few days. So I'm going to come back and clean up those little pieces from the piles. That's usually the most efficient way to do it, but you know, part of why I wanted to do this is I just haven't done baling in a while, and frankly I haven't done baling on Misty Hills, so or on the channel, I should say, not on Misty Hills. I've done baling on Misty Hills plenty of times, but it's been years since I have done it. So I wanted to give you guys at least a little bit of something different on the channel, or on this series. I mean, there's plenty of things on the channel that I do, but I'm just babbling at this point. Because as I said, I'm kind of concerned this is not going to bring me as much joy as I think. It's certainly not going to bring me joy with what I have going on right now, so I'm going to make a change. I thought I could do this. I kind of need to turn the baler off. So I need to do this at this point before I drive myself crazy. As you can see, it's having a really hard time just getting up this hill. And once again, the goal is to get this done so that I can sign off and do other things. And crawling up the hill at 1 mile an hour is not the way to do that. So I was trying to use this tractor for something other than spraying and fertilizing, and I thought it could do the baler, and I think it can on level ground. I mean, it obviously has enough power to drive it. It just doesn't have enough power to drive it and haul it. So I'm going to go ahead and just drop that there, because who knows what we're going to need it for next. Is this connected? Yes, it is. Alright. So once again, let me get that done. And we'll be good with this as far as it pulling the baler. And luckily this isn't way up on the field. So, you know, the saving grace of this, and I think I talked about this at the start of the next episode when I said, hey, maybe I'll bale, is I didn't drop straw on all the fields. I just did it here. With the intent that, hey, I'll be close, whatever I drop. If I have these pangs of regret, which I'm obviously starting to have a bit of, I won't be too far away, and it'll minimize what I need to do to kind of just finish up and remind myself that maybe this wasn't the greatest idea after all. But we'll go ahead and bale, and so let me just connect up here instead of talking and saying 2 words and then not doing anything else. So that'll get me there. Now we'll turn on the baler. I think lower the, let me just check the, no, I don't have, I guess we'll see if it, yeah, it looks like it's picking things up, so we're good. Just trying to give a clean view. You know, this is one of the few things that I really don't need the interface up for, so I can do things with keys and, you know, give you guys a nice, clear visual of what's happening here. So I'm certainly going to attempt to do that. Alright, that worked out well. Drop that bale right there. And now it's going to get a little easier because I'm just going to go straight up and down. So I do have to reset the GPS that I had worked to set up on the other one. At this point then I can lock in, and the nice thing is, you know, it won't get full, I won't run over crops, it just runs. So part of the reason I have the equipment I have as far as the baling technology is I've tried round bales, I've tried square bales. I don't believe there's, and if there are some, there certainly aren't a lot of balers that do round bales that just auto unload like this, that basically don't require you to stop. Because I think even anything that does some automation on baling on the round side still has to open up the baler or let it roll out and so forth, and so you're not just able to continue rolling. So from a work time standpoint, as you well know, is a key driver for me of efficiency, just because I'm busy and I can't always spend 10 hours a day working on my virtual farm. So I think I'm gonna do it this way, and that will work. Oops, except I forgot to lower the header. And now I'm gonna have a bale sitting out there, but that's okay. It's not that it'll let me pick it up. But, you know, from a work time, I can just keep plugging away at 11 miles an hour and, you know, get through a field like this in a reasonable amount of time, which is why in the past, like at one point, I did do a cereal crop across every field and bale it everywhere. And I think I got, let's say, like 1,500 bales. I don't know that it was quite that many. It was over 1,000, but I'd have to go back and calculate because it was a long time ago. And I think, honestly, that was the last time I baled straw. I did, in the interim, I think, do one field of either sunflowers or corn, which then let me bale stalks, or, you know, or corn stalks, which is that single bale that's sitting there in the woods, that has been there for a long time, and people are probably, my neighbors probably assume it's a decoration that I forgot about and didn't put away from Halloween or something, but it's not. It's just a bale that I don't have a store for, and, you know, putting up a store to store one bale just seems a little strange. So, alright, that's going the wrong way. I'm trying to, yep, I missed a bit. That's alright. That size I'm not going to worry about, but I was trying to figure out which way I needed to move my GPS line, because I was very close to having a problem. So in any event, that's why I use square bales. You know, plus there's, you know, the bale wagon we've got, you know, picks things up. There's an automatic pickup. It's not like I have to come out here with a pallet fork and stick it in a round bale and move it up. And again, I do believe there are bale wagons that load similarly with round bales in FSN available, but I've just always been partial to straw bales, or square bales, for that reason. And that's why I do it that way. So I'm going to continue to go through this field. I'll give you a time lapse with that. And you can enjoy watching this work for what I hope won't be a very long time lapse. It should be, you know, just a few minutes at most. There's going to be a little more time because I'm going to come around and kind of pick up the messes from these kind of piles that are left, because I have found that over the course of a field like this, that may be a full 1,000 liters or more, and those are things to not be leaving on the field, because they are worth some money. And it's not like it takes that much effort, and, you know, getting another $60 or $50 for the 1,000 liters. It's another $50 or $60 that I have in my pocket. So I'll see you on the other side of this, and well, I guess I won't see you on the other side of this until I'm doing the next job, because this will run in a time lapse all the way to the end, and then you know, there's really nothing else to say on the tail end of this, and then likely have the bale collection attached to this, unless the contractor does it, in which case we'll have something to tell you that that's what happened. So I will see you in a bit.
You'll win somehow, so give up on the battle, baby. It's hard, I know. Let the music take over, baby. I know your doubts, but it's wide open ocean, baby. Let sun pour down. We can dance in the light, oh baby. Heartbreaker, dream maker, let go of your problems